Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 298, Lamar, the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, Joe, this is a remake of a B-movie classic from somebody we interviewed,
Yeah.
Boyd Kaufman,
And we
and we asked
interviewed
him
him
about
about
him.
this movie.
So go like that interview. Because we did talk to him about it.
All right, Lamar, well, let's get right into it. What do we think of the story?
Well, Joe, this story is about good old Winston. He's doing the best he can, but boy, oh boy, does he have problems. He's trying to raise a stepkid on his own. The mother has passed away. I think it was from cancer. The problem is this. He goes to the doctor and they say, "Hey man, you have something wrong with your brain." He finds out that his insurance doesn't cover it, so he tries to rip off the same company he works for. He runs into a woman that's trying to expose this company. And in the process, he gets killed, thrown into a radioactive batch of waste, and comes out as the Toxic Avenger.
Well, I loved it. So, what was weird to me was, like, this was unrated. I didn't think that it should have been unrated, Lamar. Like, it was not that wild, honestly.
It wasn't. And I don't think I don't think we can both agree that doesn't make the movie any worse or
No.
anything like that. You had that gore, you had, of course, cussing and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't like over the top.
Yeah. It had the
Yeah.
spirit of the genre, but at its core, it was like a really well-written movie.
We mentioned the main character. I think he had, intentions and all that kind of stuff where you felt bad for him, you want him to win. And it does have, paying homage to the original, kind of that, F you to the corporations and stuff like that.
I mean, overall, I loved it. What are you going to give it for story?
I'm going to give it a 1.
Yeah, 1 point for me.
Yeah.
Our next category, Lamar, is what do we think of the characters?
Well, Winston, of course, he becomes the Toxic Avenger. And what is the politically correct term? Is he one of the first little people, like superheroes we've seen in a long while?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxies had a little raccoon, Lamar. So
But that was a raccoon.
it's
That was an
true.
animal.
It's true.
Yeah. But the Toxie, he has like a radioactive mop, which that was cool. I think that was a cool addition. He has a big eye that's kind of like, I don't know, like it was like Terminator vision
Yeah.
most. But that was cool. So Toxic Avenger was a cool design. And then his kid. Go ahead, Joe.
Well, I don't like children in movies, Lamar. I didn't like that character, but all the
Yeah.
other characters around him were good.
JJ Doherty, she was like trying to blow the lid on everything. Kevin Bacon is in this.
Yeah, he was
He
real
plays
good.
a good villain. Also, Elijah Wood
Yeah, Frodo
plays
Baggins.
his little brother. Yeah, so he was good too. But I think like everybody like really gave it their all,
Yeah.
like with the acting and the characters were cool too.
And they're good characters because even the characters have arcs. Like once it goes back to the first point with story, like everything is really well thought out, well written in this movie. Yeah, I almost feel like this is the best superhero movie I've seen probably the last 20 years. I don't know.
What do you mean, Joe? I mean, you haven't seen like what is it, like the 50 that have come out that are damn near almost the same?
I'm gonna give it 1 point for characters.
I'll give it a 1 point. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Our next category, Lamar, is what do we think of the special effects?
I mentioned it before. I like that Toxie has a new weapon, which is a radioactive mop, which fits into him being a janitor and all that kind of stuff.
We
That
always
was
kind of
cool.
had the mop.
But this one's
Yeah.
radioactive
Yeah.
that can freaking like rip people's faces off and stuff like that and harness power. This is what I didn't know, and I don't think this is a spoiler. It's not Peter Dinklage in that little suit. It's, I think, another little person.
It's a woman. I
It's
can't
a
remember
woman.
her name.
But she did very good acting out the scenes and everything like that. That
Yes.
was cool. The special effects were great. I mean, it was gory as all hell.
But I didn't think it was that gory, honestly. Maybe I'm desensitized from Terrifier 3.
I enjoyed it. I thought it
Yeah.
was funny. I think they have some body humor in this
Yeah.
movie that was very funny.
And the effects were kind of like a mix. They did do practical, but they also did some over the top CGI stuff. I gotta be honest, we talked about this a while ago. I'm still not sold on the design of the Toxic Avenger. The overall look.
Explain.
There's something about the overall look of the character that I still don't like. The face,
Really?
just the way they made it. I don't know, there's something about it.
Man.
Maybe I'm a purist. Toxic Avenger 2 is my favorite design of him.
Okay.
What are you giving it for effects?
I'm giving it a 1.
1 point. I'm gonna give it a half a point, Lamar.
Boy, oh, you really are a purist. My God.
Well, our next category, Lamar, is the comedy.
The comedy was good. They didn't only have like funny jokes. They kind of, I feel like, maybe had certain gags that went well.
Yeah.
With like, well, all the gore and stuff like that. But I will say what's different, and I think this is the spirit they got, and they didn't like just cross, like they didn't just bring over like, the stuff from the 1984 version. It wasn't as offensive, but it was still funny. It had good jokes. It was still making fun of like big corporations, insurance. It's a little stuff you have to like pay attention to what they're saying.
Yeah. They did a lot of little jokes with like background sounds, or people just saying things in the background
Yes,
that were kind
that
of
was
funny. Like you said, a lot of satire and stuff like that. No, I thought it was funny. I definitely had some chuckles. So I'm going to give it 1 point for comedy.
I'm going to give it 1.
All right, Lamar. Now, this is our most important category, I think, Lamar. It's the homage to the Troma universe, the Toxic Avenger universe.
I kind of said it before. It wasn't as offensive, but I think it keeps the spirit. Well, we have to mention, of course, once again, Lloyd Kaufman. This is his creation. Lloyd Kaufman has always been against like big corporations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This carries on with that. I personally think like they wrote in certain things that were like of this time. I think that it wasn't depending on being so offensive that it shocked you. It was really just focused on the satire of life itself.
Yeah.
As having Toxie be like a little person, and then having like the mop be something that's like, have its own powers, and the eye. I think they did enough that it's different where it can be looked at, okay, this is a different version of a classic. That's my take on it.
It has the spirit, and they put little Easter eggs, little Troma Easter eggs. Like, that was cool. It's not as crazy as a Troma movie, not as offensive. And I thought it was going to be. I was like, if this is unrated, like they're going over the top. And it really wasn't. I still, like, we talked about this already, but it's like, I still don't see why it was unrated other than they did it for promotion.
Yeah, that's true.
And there could be a sequel. Hopefully this does well. I don't know.
And that's part of the satire too. I think they were making a joke at the end. We weren't going to spoil. They did hint at other movies that Toxic Avenger could be coming back in. But we're going to leave that to the audience. But they could make a sequel, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, what do you give it for the Troma?
I give it a 1.
Yeah, I think they did justice to it. I'm going to give it 1 point as well. Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie gets a 4.75 out of 5.
The director, Macon Blair, I think he did a very good job with this. It's more of a satire rather than just a complete offensive comedy. I think it has something in its core that's saying something about, life as it is now with these corporations, social media. It's an updated version, but it still pays homage.
Yeah.
It's a different look at the Toxic
Good
Avenger.
stuff. Well, Lamar, does that wrap it up then?
It does.
All right. Toxic Avenger. Peace.
Deuces.